Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Brett's Brain. Today, we're going to talk about how do you communicate progress as a startup when you're pre-revenue. Hey, I'm Brett Brohl, former entrepreneur, current venture capitalist. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, do all those things, and ask us questions. Our goal here is to help entrepreneurs succeed, so please let us know how we can be helpful in your journey. Okay, you're a pre-revenue startup. How do you talk about metrics and progress? You feel like you're working really hard, but how do you communicate what you're accomplishing to potential investors and other stakeholders of your business? Step number one, set up goals and objectives. What are your KPIs? What are your OKRs? Whatever system you use, set those up early on and set them up for long periods of time. What is it for this quarter? What is it for the year? What are those key objectives and goals? And what are the KPIs that you can have to track against those to show the progress? So that's the most important thing. That's going to help not just investors communicating to investors, but that's also going to help you communicate with, your first employee of like, here's what we're working towards and how are we progressing? Is my employee doing a good job? Am I doing a good job as the founder and CEO? So that's the most important step. Is set up those goals, objectives, and then how are you going to measure them? And it doesn't have to be revenue. In fact, if you're not ready to be selling or revenues 6 months away or a year away, your KPI shouldn't be revenue. That shouldn't be the thing you're tracking on a regular basis. It can be a wide variety of other things. It could be product-based KPIs. It could be usage-based KPIs if you do have product in market, but you're still testing. It could be top of funnel, lead gen type stuff. Like these are the early conversations we're having with potential customers. There's always things that you can be measuring no matter what stage you're at as a company. There are always things you can be measuring, and you need to set those objectives and you need to understand how to measure against them. So that's step number one, most important step. Step number two is then put a structure around it. How do you report these things in what cadence? So structure is super important. Are you going to use a software tool that helps you manage your KPIs? Or are you going to be doing it on Excel or Google Sheets? Also okay. So put some structure around how you report it and how frequently you talk about these with your team and with your investors. So as I always say, pre-Series A companies, you should be talking about this on a monthly basis with your investors and potential investors. So you should be sending out an update on those key metrics monthly to current investors and relationships that you have with potential future investors. So make sure you're getting it out monthly. With your existing team, you should be meeting weekly and talking about this stuff at a minimum. So put that structure around it and then execute against that structure. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Figure out what your key objectives are, figure out what those units you can use to measure your progress against those key objectives, put some structure around how you're going to report it, and then execute on a regular basis and make sure you're really communicative and transparent. So don't write a fluffy email that doesn't actually have any meat to it. Just be transparent. Here's what we did. Here's how we're progressing towards those objectives, and then get it out there, get support, and build relationships. Thanks. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, and ask us questions so we can help you on your journey.